And we begin with a weather impact alert. A red flag warning is in effect. Thanks for being here on this Friday, 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. We have team coverage this morning. Regina Yorita explaining the power shutoffs that resumed overnight.
But we begin with meteorologist Evan Ronnie monitoring these dangerous fire weather conditions again here, Evan.
Yeah, for a final day, it looks like we'll be watching for that red flag warning to stay in effect. It expires at 6 p.m. High wind warning expires at 2 p.m. And that means that through the rest of the day, we'll be watching as those winds die down. But it is still a very windy start to the day here. Temperatures by the afternoon should take us into the 60s along the coastline, 70s inland. These temperatures along the coast and inland are still warmer than normal because that is all warm, dry air coming from the east. As we head through the weekend, we'll hold on to offshore flow, but they won't be nearly as intense of wind gusts that we'll see. Out the door right now, 40 in Escondido, 60 in Mira Mesa, 52 in Encinitas, and 54 in Chula Vista.
Just horrific video. You're seeing ring video of the moment a home in Pacific Palisades went up in flames. Right now, there is widespread destruction across Los Angeles County from 5 active wildfires. At least 10 people now have died.
Yeah, that number has gone up. 2 hours ago, another evacuation alert was sent to people all across LA by mistake, all throughout LA County. That was after a similar error yesterday. The latest fire now is in West Hills, which authorities suspect to be arson. That's the Kenneth fire. The Palisades fire is the largest at nearly 20,000 acres. The Eaton fire in the Altadena area, that's over 13,000 acres. Now, the LA Rams NFL wildcard game against the Minnesota Vikings will now be played in Arizona on Monday because of these fires. CBS News' Danya Backus has the latest now from Los Angeles.
In Southern California, the death toll is rising and the flames are still spreading. Thursday, the Kenneth fire erupted in Woodland Hills.
This new fire shows that we are absolutely not out of this extreme weather event.
Los Angeles and surrounding areas have been on fire starting in the Pacific Palisades community. These images show the extent of the devastation.
Looks like a bomb, an atomic bomb dropped in these areas.
To show you how these fires have wiped out entire communities, this was a Ralph's grocery store that is now just mangled metal. And other businesses like doctors' offices, clothing shops, and restaurants all look like this.
Some things in life are worth fighting for.
Pacific Palisades resident John Carr defied evacuation orders and stayed behind to protect his and his neighbors' homes from the fire using a water hose.
The house was built by my mother and father in 1960. I think I owed it to them as well to try my best to save it.
In Altadena, there's heartbreak.
The whole community is gone.
Kamiko Nickerson says her father, 82-year-old Rodney Kit Nickerson, also didn't evacuate.
And he said he'll be fine. I'll be here when you guys come back.
His remains were found in the rubble of their family home. Local officials warn the number of dead is likely to rise as crews move in to search for more victims of these tragic fires. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Oh, just apocalyptic scenes here. Right now, the FBI trying to stop drones from flying in the fire zone by deploying aerial armor. That's what authorities told the LA Times after a civilian drone left a hole on the wing of a water-dropping aircraft. The planes from Canada have been scooping up water from the ocean to fight the fires. That's because of water pressure issues in Pacific Palisades, with fire hydrants there tapped out.
Many brush fires, we run out of water when we anticipate that because of the supply demand. There's so many firefighters tapping into a limited supply of water.
Now, firefighters normally prefer fresh water. Scientists say it has a higher cooling capacity compared to salt water. The ocean water can also corrode firefighting equipment. Salt water can also harm plant life and alter soil chemistry. But desperate times, which we're in, call for desperate measures, of course.
Right now, SDG&E is shutting off power again here in San Diego because of fire conditions. More than 8,000 customers now are without power this morning. That's the areas in red. Another 66,000 could be affected.
CBS 8's Regina Yorita is live at SDG&E headquarters with more people being left in the dark here. Regina?
Yeah, that's correct. Netta and Eric, I actually want to talk about those windy conditions because you're really starting to feel them here even in Kearney Mesa. It's why San Diego Gas and Electric continues with those public safety power shutoffs. They have been monitoring the high winds and possible fire conditions. They're also keeping a close eye on the power lines. Yesterday when I talked to them, they had noticed some damage in certain lines because of the Santa Ana winds. So they reiterated why they shut off power to reduce the risk of fires from electric infrastructure. Right now, around 8,000 people are without power. These areas include Alpine Boulevard and Pine Valley. SDG&E says nearly 70,000 people could still be impacted. And now they're also warning that because of how powerful the winds are, we could even be looking at unplanned outages. Again, it's why they are on high alert and taking extra precautions. Last night we were talking to residents out in Valley Center. Take a listen to what they're experiencing.
You can see I was out here for 5 propane customers in a row. People are buying up pizza because they don't have power at home to cook. A lot of gas cans are getting filled up for people's generators. So we've been busy.
And one thing I kept hearing from residents out in Valley Center is how really they've changed sort of the frustration that they had been feeling for the past couple of days, especially when it comes to not having any power. But they are heeding the warnings from San Diego Gas and Electric. They want to help prevent any wildfires here in San Diego. They also have resources in that area and other areas who have been impacted by these power shutoffs that will be opening up around 8 a.m. But that's the latest here in Kearney Mesa. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Regina, for explaining all of that. And now several schools in our county remain closed this morning. So yet again, because of ongoing power outages, schools in Julian Union Elementary and high school districts are closed today. So are schools in the Mountain Empire Unified and the Warner Unified School Districts.
And this just in here, U.S. employers added a strong 256,000 jobs last month. It's up from 212,000 in November. This is according to the Labor Department. The unemployment rate dipped to 4.1%.
And now in less than 30 minutes, President-elect Donald Trump expected to face his first ever criminal sentencing in his so-called hush money case.
The judge has signaled several times that Trump won't serve time behind bars. Instead, Trump will likely be sentenced on an unconditional discharge, in which a case gets dismissed unless the defendant is arrested again. Trump was convicted of 34 counts of falsifying business records that involved an alleged scheme to hide a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. CBS News will have a special report on this coming up here at 6:30, so just about 20 minutes, but we will continue your local news over on our CW channel, so be sure to switch over there.
And it's 6:08 right now. A lot of people from LA are here in San Diego trying to escape some of the smoke, but I wonder, are we going to see that haze here?
A good chance that over the course of Saturday we see some smoke in San Diego County. Right now it is clear, it's dry, it's very mild. Winds are breezy, but not nearly as intense as they were in many cases yesterday. And while this is still breezy, we are expected to see those wind speeds and wind gusts die down over the course of the day today. We see that current temperatures out the door right now are in the 50s, 52 in Encinitas, 45 in Carlsbad, 60 right now in Mira Mesa, and 53 in La Mesa, 58 in downtown San Diego. Take a look at these offshore winds that we're still going to be holding on to over the course of our day. And then as we get toward the noon hour, those winds finally start to die down. Julian, for example, at 39 miles per hour as of about 11 a.m. Those winds are never going to really head back to onshore flow. You can see how we kind of hold on to more of a northerly component of wind as we get through the late night hours, so into early morning hours of Saturday. Out at Palm Springs, still 15 miles per hour, so still breezy in some cases. And then going into Sunday, those winds pick up again. They're not necessarily going to be as windy as they were over the course of this week, but I'd say still another mild Santa Ana wind event possible on Sunday. We have this red flag warning until 6 p.m. today. We have a high wind warning up until 2 p.m. today, 30 to 40 miles per hour, gusts up to 65 miles per hour. Here's the thing, today through about Wednesday of next week, we've got temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s at times, and then we finally head back to cooler than normal temperatures or about normal temperatures by the time we get to the end of next week. Let's look at your drive times outside. Things are pretty light out there. No major crashes or collisions on our traffic maps here. CBS8.com/traffic has more. Let's look at your border wait times right now. It is a 60-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, 45-minute wait at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. Ned and Eric.